I saw like a dog being walked, on a leash, and then it had the poop bag tied to the leash. And that's kind of embarrassing. I felt bad for the dog. It's just so shameful. Like, I'd be like if I had a roll of toilet paper on my belt. Just to let you know that I will be shitting at a later time. Just so you guys know. Yeah, I shit. Like, hide that. We know dogs poop. You don't need to broadcast it. So I read that they're releasing Oppenheimer in Japan, finally. You guys know that? They're going to release the movie Oppenheimer in Japan. And they're going to release it from an airplane. So they're going to fly over Hiroshima and Nagasaki and just drop some Blu-rays. It's like viral marketing, I guess. Because they're going to be like, oh no. They're like, oh cool. They're going to pop it in. I think premature ejaculation is only a problem if you care. Right? You have to feel bad about it. Every time I come, I go, right on time. Right on time. Yeah, like, coming too fast is associated with shame. Right? Because every time it happens, guys are very apologetic about it. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Normally I'm better. I'm sorry. I think we could give it a facelift, guys. You just gotta be different when it happens. Like, ladies, imagine you're with a guy and he like comes in 20 seconds and then he starts putting his clothes on. He's like, this was fun. Let's do it again. You'd be like, who is this guy? I'm in love. This guy doesn't give a shit. And then another thought how premature ejaculation is like, we celebrate speed in every other regard, right? The fastest sprinter, the fastest race cars, the fastest swimmer. Why not? I think we should do that with ejaculating, You know how they have the Nathan's hot dog eating contest? I think once a year it should be the fastest comers. Just on the boardwalk, just like 12 guys lined up. They're like, gentlemen, start your boners. And goes, and it's like the Bellagio fountain. You get a trophy. Because then girls would be into that, because they're into, people who excel at whatever their field is. Be like, I heard you, come the fastest. I heard you come out of the fastest. And guys are like, yeah, what are you doing later? Just to let you know, I'll come quick. FYI. Israel, Palestine. It's just a thought. There's jokes, So, when they bomb, they're kind of bombing neighborhoods. Like, Israel's bombing neighborhoods, and some of the people say, they let them know, though. Like, they do a notice, we'll be bombing. That's gonna suck if you get that. Like, I get pissed when they say they're shutting the water off at my apartment. Imagine you're checking your mail, you just have it, and you go, we will be bombing your place between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. Fuck! Again? This is the 8th house that... Oh, fuck. That was worth it. Okay. That was silly, but poignant. I think it's funny when country clubs get shit for, not being progressive. That's their thing. People are paying $50,000 a year for it not to be progressive. You're paying for the racism. You think some old white guy's gonna pay $100,000 a year to use they, them pronouns? I understand where your heart's at, but... Okay. I will say about UCB, when the laughs stop, they stop fast. Hey, you guys, you let me know, it's on to the next one. I love having no momentum. It's nice. It's like a float tank of comedy, just me and my thoughts. Just goodwill, millisecond by millisecond. You always hear parents nowadays talking about oh, screen time. Kids are on their screens all the time. What is that? I think it's just whatever the new modern thing is, Do you think when books came out, older generation were like, no one looks at the sun anymore. Everyone's reading books, no one looks at the sun. And clouds. No one counts things. No one counts how many straws are in a haystack. That's what my generation did. I was walking by this older guy, and then I was kind of in the same vicinity, and he was having a tough he's older, and he goes, Don't get old. You heard that, right? Like, don't get old. And you laugh because like there's nothing you can do about that. Like, oh, okay. I think it'd be funny if I pulled a gun out and went. And he's like, oh, what did I do? He took my advice. He took it too well. Don't get old. There's just like blood splatter on his face. Like, I have blood on my hands. New Year's is coming up. Sounds like I'm doing a late night. So, New Year's. You guys celebrate? New Year's fans? Am I dating myself doing a Jay Leno late night impression? New Year's. So occasionally I've performed on New Year's, and it sounds funner than it is, especially when you're on stage and you're the comic who does the countdown for the people. Because the New Year's about to ring in, and you're on stage, and you're like, halfway through your set, you're like, all right, guys, 9, 10, 9, 8, 7, and everyone's into it, and then, Happy New Year! And then you feel like the loneliest man on earth. Because everyone is kissing their significant other, and you just feel like a cuck. Yeah, I mean, it's not about you. It's like all about you, and then it's not about you halfway through it. And just everyone has someone, and you're just like so lonely on stage. Like all the right turns you could have taken in life are in front of you. You're like, why did I do this? As a career, I have no one. It'd be funny, they're all making out, and when they turn back to me, my pants are off, and I'm jerking off. And I don't even do jokes. This is my fetish. I pretend I'm a comedian once a year. And I jack off to 200 people in a room. It sucks because I have to learn how to be good for the first 7.5 minutes, and then I jack off. Yeah, okay. So I was in Dallas, right? And then I was with my family. We went to Terry Black's barbecue. Has anyone been there? It's great. It's great barbecue. You have to like snake through this line. And it's sort of like a cafeteria. They just put stuff on a tray, and then you get to the register. And I was going to pay. I was going to pay for everyone. So when the tip thing came, I was going to hit like 20%. And then my dad sees that, and he goes, no, you don't pay. We did everything. And he was going to pay, but he just... Normally you're kind of shy about that stuff, low-key, but my dad was like putting them on blast. He's like, we did everything. Why do they get 20%? No, they do nothing. It's bullshit. I'm like, okay, Dad. No, it's everyone pays. What did they do? And the guy's just cutting meat, and my dad's just preaching to everyone at Terry Black's. Like, put your money in your pockets, everyone. They're trying to fuck you. Like, Dad, you could just not... No, you're an idiot. You were going to pay 20%? Just totally making a scene out of tipping. But he paid for it, and he didn't give him anything. I just want to be like, I'm so sorry, but he's right. You don't do anything. You just scoop stuff. Oh yeah, we went to where JFK got assassinated. Has anyone been there? It's weird. It's weird that that's like a thing to do. Enough time has passed, or just, you want to go see where JFK got his brains blown out? It's pretty cool. So there's just a bunch of people on the street, just like, whoa. Just a bunch of people taking pictures of us. It's a functional road. People are driving to work, and there's just people from Iowa like, whoa. This is where his brains got blown out. Jackie was in terror right there. Wow. Oh, the guy fucking shot him. Or maybe not. Well, everyone thinks they're gonna figure it out when they get there too. Just some guy in cargo shorts and a fanny pack from Montana's like, okay, now that I've done enough Google Maps, I've done enough Street View, it's cool to be these. Yeah, thinks he's like CSI. Just he has a pen. There's like a condom. He's like, this breaks the case wide open. No one talked about the used condom in 2023. It is weird. That's like one of the saddest events in American history. And then you just see people, because cars are zipping by. It's a fast street, so they have to look, and then they go in the middle of the road and they go, oh. And their friend is like, Everyone's doing it. It's not one guy. Everyone's like waiting in line to be a piece of shit. Like, yeah, my turn. I want some of them to die. That'd be great if that's how they went out. Just, you could say what JFK's up there. Like, it's a dangerous street. Half his head's gone. He's like, it's dangerous. What if, like, however you get maimed on Earth, you're still like that in heaven? You're just like, yeah, that was rough down there, huh? Heaven's pretty cool. Yeah, God can't fix the head. It's kind of like, it's permanent. Once you're down there, then up there. So I went to the Cowboys game, and then they have the Dallas cheerleaders come out. You know, they're all sexy and stuff. And I was thinking, like, if religion didn't exist, probably when that happens over the intercom, they'd be like, please welcome your Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Start jacking off. But religion is the only reason the whole stadium isn't just... Because God wouldn't like that, so they're like, oh, no, they're cute girls. Oh, it's a cool position that they have. I don't understand. Now there's, like, male cheerleaders in the NFL, which I don't get. In college, I understand because they're just like, and they're functional. They have to like hoist the chicks up. You need heft. You need to like take a girl by the waist and then do that. Imagine getting a full ride to college just because you're doing this on Saturdays. Just a full ride education because you could just hoist a chick up. But they're functional. That's why I understand men in cheerleading in college. But in the NFL, they're doing Beyonce shit, and like, it's for no one. Right? It's like a Make-A-Wish kid or something. It's just for that guy. It's not for anybody else. Watching a male cheerleader do this at like a Rams game is like if you were watching a porno where a guy's fucking a chick, and then the camera pans over, and it's just two guys fucking. You're like, I thought I was in the camera just, oh yeah, you like this? How about this? It's just two guys fucking. It's similar, but it's different. I can't put my finger on it, but it's different in a way. You ever see Chihuahua and you're like, man, I can't believe that came from wolves. I'm like that when I see Kid Rock. I'm like, whoa, I can't believe that came from British people. Kid Rock came from a British person. That's nuts. A wife beater and a fedora from Cheerio. I went home for Thanksgiving, and like I love visiting my parents. And my mom is funny though. My mom will just like tell me useless information like every 5 seconds. Like if I'm watching TV, she's in the kitchen. She's like, "Fine, the hard-boiled eggs. They're in the second drawer." Okay, I've never eaten a hard-boiled egg in my life. Finding the hard-boiled egg. In a second, I'm like, okay, thanks, Mom. The cake mixer, fine. You know, if you want to make a cake, is under the sink. It's just I want you to know, in case you want to bake a cake while you're here. Thanks, Mom. The laser disc player, we put it in the attic. Okay. No one uses laser discs anymore. So I think it's funny how Trump keeps on showing up to UFC matches. Because they love him there, you know what I mean? And he's extrapolating that as like the rest of the nation. He thinks that's how the world feels about him, so he just keeps on going to UFC fights and they're cheering for him. He's like, thank you. Yeah, I am great, thank you. Like, look at them, the place where they bash each other's brains in a cage, they love me. You want to go to a basketball game? He's like, no, that's okay. They love me here. The Octagon people love me. I don't like when people take shots at Joe Rogan. I don't like it because he's done a tremendous service for our youth in America. Like, he's gotten jocks to, like, learn. To pay attention for 3 hours and learn about physics and... Who else has been able... It's not that jocks were delinquents, it's just they didn't respect their teachers because they weren't swole. Like their chemistry teacher, Mr. Hyber's like, today we're gonna be learning about peptides. He's like, he can't bench 300 pounds. I'm gonna fucking listen to this guy. Become more vascular, then I'll see what you got to say. The only way the youth, like young men, can receive information is if it's from a ripped guy. You know, because if your dad told you some stuff, you'd be like, what do you know? But if some guy's like entertained, it's like, what you gotta do? It's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, bro, that's how I get a Lamborghini. He's ripped, so. For some reason, young men can't receive information from non-ripped people. It's just hardwired in us, you know? Is it good when you can hear the water line when you do a show? Is that... I'm new to comedy, but is it good when you can hear water pressure in a building? What if I'm like, you might want to take a look at that. I used to do plumbing. Doesn't sound good. Like, I've bombed so many times, I know a bad water line. When I hear it, it's gonna be a problem unless you fix that. I think I'm an introvert. Any introverts tonight? Yeah, of course. That's par for the course for, it was like, fucking right here. I'm so fucking shy. Takes his shirt off. Large crowd scare me. Just shotgunning a beer. Like, I don't think you know what an introvert means. Oh, stranger. And it's tough. Being a stand-up comedian who's an introvert is like a bad combo. Because people don't like that. It just warps people's minds, I guess. They expect you to be like Bert Kreischer or something, you know? Which is great, but not everyone is like that. Because I'll be at a party sometimes, and then someone will be like, "You're the comedian? But you're so quiet." And I want to be like, yeah, I'm not getting paid. And there's a bunch of people I don't know at this party. It would be weird. They expect me to be like, when they hear I'm a stand-up comedian, they expect me to be at a party like, just throw glitter and be like, how much does the polar bear weigh? Enough to break the ice. How come no one's dancing? Come on. Like, who's the annoying guy? He's the comedian. Like, oh, okay. I'm just like, who wants to hear me do phrases from the 90s? Do I make you horny, baby? Yeah. Somebody stop me. Oh, that's the comedian. Okay, the fucking annoying guy. That makes sense. Sometimes people will like you after show, and they'll give you a compliment, but it comes off as an insult. Because they mean what they're like, dude, you're like so funny, man. Like, dude, you're fucking hilarious. Like, I've never heard of you. Because like I had no idea. Like, but you're fucking so funny, dude. But like, yeah, like, no idea who the fuck you were until I asked my friend. He's like, I don't know who he is either. I'm like, oh yeah, thanks, man. Thank you. Before tonight, it's like you don't even exist. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming out. Yeah, like, what are you doing wrong in your career? Like, I don't know. Because you should be like on billboards. Oh, thank you, yeah. But you're like here, this fucking dump, you know? Like, I'm nobody, I'm scum. But you're like so funny, dude. Thank you, man, thank you. My Apple Watch is like, your blood pressure is good. I'm like, thank you, man. No, I don't want a beer, thank you. Thank you, though. People always want to buy you a beer, too, on the road. And like, sometimes I don't want a beer, but it's like, it's nice, you know? I appreciate the sentiment, but like, they really need to see you drink the liquid. To feel like the compliment was heard. Like, dude, you want a beer? Like, what are you drinking? I'm like, oh, I'm good, thanks, man. No, come on, man. No, what do you want? I'm like, no, I'm okay. And then they get mad, like, oh, okay, all right, man. You're one of those, okay. You didn't know you're so Hollywood, you don't drink beers. Any questions before I get into this joke? This has a nice feel of like professor. I feel more like a funny professor tonight than like a full throttle stand-up comedian. If I went to academia, this is what it would be. They'd be like, you gotta take Fahim's class. You know he's doing an open mic now. He's not that funny. He's like lecture funny, but he's not comedy club funny. He's not Black Box Theater on Franklin funny, you know. So, you know, Jared from Subway, he's in jail. But he's gonna get out. He's gonna get out sometime, right? Does anybody know his sentence? Is anybody keeping track? That'd be great. I want to sell like Jared from Subway calendars. You're just waiting for the days when he gets out. Like he's almost out. Like it's a weird advent calendar. So does anybody actually know his sentence?
It's like 15 years.
He gets out in 15 years? So I was thinking, if I was Jared from Subway and I was about to get out, I would hit Subway up and be like, listen, I want $500,000, or the first thing I'm gonna do when I get out is go eat a sandwich at Subway. Okay? You better pay up.